welcome back to another brand new episode here on Sunnyside at Farms. So as you can see, today we have got the combine back out in the field. So the last of our new fields that we purchased in the last episode now needs to be combined. The sunflowers are ready, so say we'll take these in. There's not going to be very much here, to be fair. They haven't been fertilised or anything like that, so we aren't going to get very much off here. I just thought we'd get it off because it would give us a little bit more straw. Straw is something we're going to need quite a lot of now. You're going to have to forgive me this morning. I'm not going to do very much talking because I've got a little bit of a sore throat and quite a nasty chesty cough. It's sort of, well, I say it's come on from nowhere. It sort of has come on from nowhere, but it's one of those things where you went to bed feeling absolutely fine. You wake up in the morning and you feel absolutely shocking, and you think, what happened? But yesterday I went racing at Northampton, and it's a shale track, and it was very, very, very dusty, and I didn't realise quite how much dust I was breathing in until I got home, and went in the bathroom to the loo, looked across the bathroom into the mirror, and literally just my face was black from dust. And I was like, oh geez, and I thought, and of course, like, you obviously had a shower, cleaned up and what have you, and then was sort of sat in the evening, I was sort of playing on my tablet and what have you, and I suddenly realised, I thought, Christ, if that's what was on my face, just imagine what I breathed in. And I was like, oh God. And then, as I say, this morning I've woke up and I'm not feeling so brilliant this morning, so I think the dust has got to my chest, and anyone that knows me knows that obviously I've got quite a serious heart condition, and my chest is not the most strongest of parts of my body, and yeah, I'm suffering a little bit this morning, but never mind, onwards and upwards. Onwards and upwards. We can't miss next weekend. Next weekend is a big weekend of racing. So for the third weekend in a row, I'm on a 2-dayer. Next weekend I'm in Ipswich on the Saturday, and I'm at Yarmouth on the Sunday. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough about that rubbish. You want to know about farming sim, and you want to know about Sunnyside Up. So today, as I say, we've got the combine out in the field. We've got the John Deere 8410 in the field in front of us, cultivating. So he's getting the fields ready for drilling. Because as soon as we get this done, we are going to be in that. We're going to be in those fields drilling. We've also got the canola to put a post-M on. So we've got the first of our, well, the only post-M that we put on, and then obviously they'll get then another dose, probably end of spring, end of autumn, maybe early spring, and we'll go from there. I didn't realise the tank was full. It's a problem when the crop's black. I can't see it against the black cover that I've got on the combine. But anyway, now I've gone a bit too far. Anyway, as I say, we'll get these done, and with him busy over there somewhere, I think he's over there, look, you can just see him, just over there, with him busy over there and us two busy here. So I've got the John Deere 7810, which I do kind of need to make my mind up with that, or whether I'm going to buy it or not. And we've also got the big 4-wheel case, the David Brown, but the big one that did all the subsoiling. We've got that one on the other tractor and trailer. The What on earth are you doing? Anyway, the case is set up, the actual case tractor that pulls the sprayer is set up on the sprayer. Now, in real life, if we were sort of mixing jobs, so we were sort of in one job, out another job, blah 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 blah, and a tractor was, say, set up with a drill, or it was set up with a sprayer, you would leave that tractor set up with that implement. We wouldn't take it off. What we would do is we would just use one of the other tractors, and if we didn't have another tractor, then what we used to do was to have two trailers, leave one standing in the field, and then I'd just drive the one tractor and keep emptying the trailers. You can't do that on farming sim without me physically stopping every time, swapping the trailers over, and then sending it back. Like you see, it's not really worth me doing, so I've put it on that big case. Incidentally, as I've sort of said a few times, this save is based loosely on the first farm that I worked on, and the big case that you can see just in front of me there, that we did the subsoiling on, that was a tractor that farm had for a little while. So when I joined in 2007, that tractor had its last year on the farm that year, and then in my first winter, myself and John then completely revamped it and refurbished it and restored it back to its like absolute mint pristine condition, and then it went into the boss man's show collection. So he's still got the tractor, but they just don't use it on the farm anymore. It goes into his vintage collection, and as I say, from there, don't forget to turn the combine on, James. That'll help. Yeah, from there it does shows and sort of vintage days and sort of stuff like that. But yeah, it was a tractor that we did have on the farm, as I say, with all the David Browns and the cases. But now the farm is a lot more modern. To be fair, by the time I left, which was 2011, by the time I'd left, the farm had pretty much gone full modern. So the next tractor that I had, well, my first tractor there that I sort of had second-hand brand new, was a Claas 55 Challenger, and that was where I started my crawler work. Apart from because I had driven a few times, I'd driven the Track Marshall, but I was nothing like them. But yeah, so that was kind of, I had that for about a year. I think we got that in about 2010, 2009, 2010, something like that. We got that, and so I had that for about a year, and that was a really fantastic tractor to drive. I really liked the Claas. Don't get me wrong, went to the second farm and obviously got upgraded to a brand new MT765, and absolutely adored that tractor. That was the bee's knees, that one was. And then after that, I kept my 765, but I also got an 875. No, I had a 775E, sorry, and an 875E. That's what I had, sorry. And yeah, as I say, really like those two tractors. So the big tractor used to I used to pull my really big plough on that. So I had a 16 furrow. I can't remember if it was Cverveland or Coombe. I can't remember which one it was. I had a 16 furrow, one of them. It was slightly modified. It didn't start off life as 16 furrows, but we modified it to be 16 furrows. And then with my smaller Challenger, I pulled my Lemkin 9 furrow, and that tractor, that plough, was either an offset or an inline plough. So it meant that obviously I could plough on top or in the furrow. and I did occasionally plough in the furrow with my Challenger. And then in the winter time, if I still had ploughing to do, which I tried not to have, but just sometimes that's how it would work. If I sort of still had ploughing and it was really wet, then I would use my John Deere 84.5R. I think that was what it was. I can't remember now. 83.4, I think it was. It might have been an 834. I'll have to look at my pictures. I can't. The trouble is, like, that's sort of going back, and that's now like over 10 years ago. And I'm finding as I get older, things that I was able to recall like that are no longer able to be recalled like that. It's so frustrating. Because now I'm having to sort of like check photos, and it's like, am I talking rubbish here, or like was it something that I did have? But yeah, so I've got the somewhere. I've got the photos to all the tractors that I had, and I've got a few videos of me, sort of ploughing or whatever. I got a video of the very first time I drove the combine on the first farm, which I did for a couple of 3 hours, which was pretty cool. And then yeah, so I got a few videos as well, but I say I have to sort of check my videos now for tractors that I have. But anyway, we're going to crack on with a bit of time lapse because it is starting to hurt my throat to talk. So we are, as I say, we're going to crack on with some time lapse, and we'll get this harvested. As I say, the next job after this will be, I mean, it's a fairly big field, but I can't envisage it taking us too long. The next job after this field will be the spraying, and then if there's still time, we'll get some drilling done as well. But we will we'll see what happens. But for now, let's crack on with a bit of time lapse. so we've got that done. That has all been completed. Now we've got to go and get it baled now. So we'll go down to the cornfield first, and then we'll get that done, and then we'll obviously go up to the sunflower field, and we'll get that one baled. It's gone fairly well, the combining. As I've said many times before, and I'm certainly not going to go into a huge whinge here, but auto drive, brilliant mod, but can be very frustrating. Yeah, so at least we've got it done anyway. The John Deere, as you can see, is back from cultivating the field. He got that finished, and we can now crack on with getting all of our wheat fields prepared, and getting them prepared and getting them drilled, which is pretty good. But yeah, all in all, not going too bad. I have decided to buy the seed drill that we were using in the last episode. So I have now purchased that. I just didn't feel at this stage comfortable buying the 12-meter drill and the big John Deere crawler to go with, to come on the farm. It just felt like at this precise moment in time, it was all a little bit out of place. As I say, I've bought that blue drill that we used in the last episode, and I think at the moment that feels way more in keeping with what we're kind of sort of doing and where we're at this moment in time. But eventually we will have to move up to that 12-meter drill, or a drill of that caliber, because the sort of goal of the save is that we successfully farm for 2 years in a row, a minimum of 2 years in a row, the whole map, the whole of Vintage Oaks, and that means that we're going to have to at some point move up to some much bigger equipment, because we'll obviously have a lot more to do, and it will also mean as well in the future relying more on courseplay and auto drive to complete harvests, because we're obviously going to have a lot of crops come ready at the same time, and so we're going to need help with that. But yeah, for now it didn't really seem the right thing to do, so I've as I say, I haven't done it. I've bought the drill that we used in the last episode. I've also bought that corn header, because obviously we're going to need it for our pigs, because we're going to need corn. And I've also purchased the 7810 tractor. I've decided to go with that. We had to make our mind up with that one because the hire of that ended today. So again, it's not brand new, but it's still a good tractor, and it will still do a good job for us. So we can't complain at that one. But yeah, we are, as I say, we're doing very nicely, very well, and it's going very good. We'll get these baled, and then we'll also get that other field drilled, and if there's time at the end of the episode, or perhaps even before I drill that other field, actually, to be fair, I'll also get the canola sprayed. I'll get that sprayed, and then that will be that job ticked off as well. So today is probably an episode more of ticking boxes today, where we had the corn to get harvested, and then we also had the sunflowers to do. So today, as I say, was just about ticking boxes. It was about just getting things done and getting jobs ticked off, and gone. So this field, as I've harvested it with auto drive and just now, and it's not that great. This field's coming permanently grass. It's a bit of an odd shaped field, and like I say, auto drive was a little bit, it did struggle a little bit in here. So this will come permanently grass. Again, we need the grass, and we're going to need more and more and more as we get the cows. The cows aren't probably, they're probably only about another year away, I would say, from being on the farm. You know, we've already got the sheep. They don't particularly eat all that much, really, to be fair, but you know, we've got the sheep, we've got the cows coming, obviously we've got the pigs. You know, somewhere, somehow down the line we'll probably get horses too, and you know, have a bit of a stable going on as well, but I'll have to fit that in somewhere, because I don't think there is anywhere specific on the map for horses, so I think it's something we're going to have to kind of try and do ourselves, but you know, we'll fit it in somewhere. But yeah, all in all, as I say, it's going pretty well, but we'll crack on with some more time lapse, and we'll get these 2 fields baled, we'll get them collected, and then whatever time is left in the episode, we will then get on with the other jobs as well. And any jobs that we don't get finished in this episode, the spraying I might well do off camera, but the drilling I will do on camera. You know, just because that is kind of a main job, but the spraying, I don't think too many people are going to mind if they miss a bit of spraying. We'll have loads and loads and loads more to do, but the drilling I will actually do on camera, because like me, there are 1 or 2 people out there that love drilling. I must admit, it was my favourite job on the farm, and so yeah, we'll crack on with that. But as I say, we'll get on with a bit more time lapse, and I'll see you all in a little bit. so here we are again. We've nearly got this field drilled now actually, which I'm really pleased about. So another field in, and then we've just got the field ahead of us, and then the field ahead of that is currently grass, and that other field is currently sugar beet, although within the next 2 episodes I would say we should get that up and done. Get that sugar beet out of there. That'll be a really good thing to do. I'm hoping as well, fingers crossed, time permitting as always, I'm hoping I will be able to reveal the pig area next week. We've got a little tiny bit more to do down there, so I sort of did quite a bit. I was hoping it was going to be this episode. I was thinking I'll get it all done, and I was sort of just, you know, sort of digging away a little bit and doing some other little things down there, and removing some other buildings, and, you know, sort of doing bits and bobs down there, making it sort of trying to make it look nice and professional and everything, and alas, yes, I've messed it up, so we're gonna have to I'm gonna have to try and just get that done, but there's not much more to do down there now, so it's quite good. But yeah, I was trying to smooth the ground for you know, for future builds, and happened to press the wrong button, and I had it on the wrong setting, and I raised the ground, and then I sort of did load I just messed it up basically. I don't really know what I did do down there. I know I raised the ground, and then I tried to sort of correct it, and for whatever reason then chose the bloody to lower the ground, thinking I'll just like back to where it was. Well, it then dug through, and it's made a little bit of a mess down there, but we will get it sorted, and we will get it looking very nice. But thankfully, as I say, that's this field drilled now, so it's another box ticked in our box ticking episode. The rape has come through very nicely, so that will need to be sprayed. That will probably be next task, and as I say, I'll do that off camera, just because throughout the farming year there's lots of times for me to show you spraying and stuff. We've got some ploughing to be getting on with, where this tractor and the 8410 John Deere will be out ploughing. We've both got some ploughing to do. We'll have the sugar beet land to plough as well when that gets lifted. So there's still, even though, you know, we're in October now and the year is drawing towards its conclusion, we're still flat out at work. I need to make sure the chickens have got some feed or food. They've definitely got feed. Let's just have a quick run over there and see whether they need feeding. I haven't done it for a day or two. They do indeed need feeding. So the chickens now are eating a full silo every day and a half. They are needing extraordinary amounts of wheat now to keep them going. And I also know that as well that the sheep have now run out of bale as well, so that will also need to be done. And as I say, and then we've got the pigs to reveal hopefully in the next episode, and yeah, we'll sort of go from there and see how we're getting on. But anyway, I'm going to leave this episode here for now, so thanks ever so much for watching. I really enjoyed having your company. If you like the video, why not give it a thumbs up? If you like me, why not subscribe? I do a video every day, 5 days a week, 3 PM, and as I say, I look forward to seeing as many of you as we can get on each and every video, and you know, just know that your support and everything does mean the world to me. And yeah, that's all for me to say. Thanks ever so much for joining me. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.